Good morning, family and friends. Welcome back to Cooking with Carol Diane. This morning, I'm going to show you an easy buttermilk biscuit recipe. Now, I have shown you how to make biscuits before with buttermilk using a big bowl and doing what's called the bird's nest effect, where you put all your flour in the bowl and you go like this with the palm of your hand here, and you squish it all down to form almost looking like a bird's nest. That's why they call it bird's nest. Today I'm not going to do that this morning. I got up and it was kind of chilly this morning. In fact, we had a little tiny bit of dusting of snow, so it's cold, and I just kind of was in the mood for a nice hot biscuit with some homemade jam. So that's what we're going to make. What you will need, I'm going to show you what we're going to make. What you will need is self-rising flour, which I have right here, 2 cups of self-rising flour. Now, when you go to the grocery store and you're in the section where there's sugar and flour, you're going to have all kinds of different flours, from cake flour to what's called all-purpose flour, and it's all-purpose. You can use it for just about everything. And then you'll have one that has self-rising down at the bottom of the bag, and that's the one you want, self-rising flour. So we're going to put the 2 cups of flour in the bowl. There we go. That's the first step. Next step is you need a half a stick of real butter, cold butter, not soft. You can even barely put it in your freezer if you want to, but it's got to be cold. You're going to take that, and we're going to grate this over the bowl here. And I found this cute little grater. It's kind of vintage. When I found it and I started using it, I was so impressed with it because I don't cut my fingers at all on graters anymore. You just kind of go along this little grater. It's so nice. And it just falls down into the bowl. I'm going to get this whole stick down into the bowl of the flour. Now, my other biscuits that I showed you, we did the Crisco oil, and we did where they look like little eggs. And those are fine, those are great. But wait till you taste these. I prefer these over the other biscuits because of the good butter flavor. And I'm all for butter, I really am. I don't use margarine. I used to for years, but I don't use that anymore. I strictly use butter. I guess it's my age, and I figure at my age, you know, what the heck? I can have a little butter once in a while. My grandfather, he ate a lot of sugar in his life, bacon. Every morning he got up and had his oatmeal and 2 slices of bacon and 2 eggs over easy. And that is not what he died from, of high cholesterol at all. It was complications to pneumonia. And he was well over 90 years old, and so the food was not the issue. So I'm not saying that you have to have butter every single day. It's just on something like this, you use the good stuff. Makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so that's our butter that we've got in there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these. You can use a fork. I've seen people take knives and do it, but I like this one so much better because it's going to get in the bowl. Okay, and we want to incorporate all that flour now into the butter. And we don't want great big chunks. We want it all kind of blended in there. So, like I said, this is pretty easy. Anybody could do this. All you young people out there that want to make something fun in the morning, this would be it. I like to do this the campfire. You take a great big bowl and you make some nice fresh hot biscuits in the morning with, yes, your bacon. There's just nothing better. Nothing better. Okay, now see, can't see the butter anymore. It's all pretty much incorporated in there. And that's what we want. Okay, now the next step is you're going to need buttermilk. Any brand, doesn't matter what brand you have on hand. Just get some buttermilk at the grocery store. You're going to need a good 1.5 cups So a lot of people don't measure, they just pour it in. But for this purpose, I'm going to show you that the 1.5 cups, that's pretty much what you need. Get the buttermilk in there. And then you want to work it pretty fast. You know, you want to blend this and work this pretty fast in here because your buttermilk is really setting up into your flour. And you just get it where you can pick it up in your hands is what I want. Is to pick it up in the hands. And if you feel like the buttermilk is just not quite doing, add a little bit more. Add a little bit more buttermilk until you get it where you can make a ball, a big ball out of this. You don't want to overdo this because then your biscuits are going to be, you know, not nice and fluffy. Okay, that's pretty good. See, now it's come into the bowl where I can move it around the bowl like that, and that's what you want. Okay, so the next step, you can do it out on your counter, or you can use a pastry cloth like what I'm used to. So we're gonna take the pastry cloth, gonna get a little bit more flour onto the cloth and onto my hands. And then we're gonna take this out. All your batter of your dough here. I like to get all of it because it's so good. It's just really good stuff. And all out there. Okay. Again, work it where your hands aren't going to stick to the dough, like so. Now it's a big ball, isn't it? So I'm gonna barely go like this and kind of fold it over and fold it over again. Put a little bit on my rolling pin here. Now we're going to make it where we can cut the biscuits. I've made so many of these that, and you don't want to go too far down. You know, you want a nice plump little biscuit. Okay, so next step is take some good old Crisco oil. Now I have a cast iron flat skillet that I like to use mine on. You can put yours on a cookie sheet. You can put yours on most anything. But when I found this little guy, I just make mine on this because they come out together just nice of what I want. You can get small ones to big ones. Any little pastry cutter that you want. You can use a glass, you can use a jar. I just happen to have these. I have a lot of different sized ones, so we're gonna use this one today. This one has a little edge on it also that makes it kind of pretty. Okay, and we're just gonna start putting them on our skillet here. They need to touch. Remember I said before on my other biscuits, because they like each other? Well, they do. They like each other, but they really do need to touch. Gonna have this another two-part video so that when I put these in the oven, I will come back when they are finished to show you what they look like. I'll pop one open to eat it and show you, and let you know it's pretty good, because they are. And they don't take very long at all. And that's your little biscuits. Now you're gonna bake these in a pretty hot oven. The hotter the oven, the more that your biscuit will stay soft. So 500 degrees for these buttermilk biscuits made with butter. About maybe 12 minutes, and Then we'll bring them out of the oven, and I'll show you what they look like. They should be nice and golden brown. 12 minutes is probably about enough, give or take with your oven. Every oven is different. So if you're looking in there and you see, yeah, they're kind of nice and brown on top, then go ahead and take them out. Just kind of make sure that they are done in the center, but you should be able to just eyeball this and know that, yes, the biscuits are done. So I'll see you in about 12 minutes. Bye-bye now. Welcome back to part 2 of the buttermilk biscuits, the easy recipe. These are real buttery biscuits. So they're out of the oven now, and my 2 cups yields about 8 biscuits. I made some more while I was waiting to show you that you certainly can use this cast iron skillet and make your biscuits. What I like to do is take butter and put on top the minute they get out of the oven. Just sprinkle some butter on each biscuit while they're still warm. Gives them just such a nice flavor. But again, these are made with real butter, so you're going to have a butter flavor anyway, not Crisco. Then I like to take some nice jam. I make all kinds of different jams. I talk about my raspberry jam because I grew raspberries for so many years and made wonderful jam with it. This one is a plum jam that I made, and I'm going to try it this morning on my nice biscuit that I have. I'm just going to have some of this. And so we're just going to grab a biscuit. There. And we will open it up. Still pretty warm. Pretty warm. Here's our biscuit. Put some nice fresh butter, soft butter. Real butter, remember, everything has to be real, not imitation, not the margarine that's so full of water. Nope, you don't want that. And some nice jam on your biscuit. And that's going to be my breakfast, probably an orange. Bought some fresh oranges yesterday. Try them out. So my buttermilk biscuits with my cup of tea this morning, I'm all set for breakfast. Very light, very tasty. Anybody can do this. Remember, 2 cups of self-rising flour, a stick of butter, real butter. Grate that into your flour. Add 1.5 cups, maybe a little more depending, of your buttermilk. Spoon it and whisk it all together. Make a ball form, put it out on your counter or your pastry cloth. Barely roll it out. Start cutting your biscuits and put on a greased pan of any kind, whether it's a cookie sheet, whether it's a glass Pyrex pan, or what I like to use are the cast iron skillets. Whichever you choose, it's going to come out. Took me about 8 minutes on these and about 12 minutes on a bigger pan in a 500-degree oven. I hope you've enjoyed my buttery, buttermilk easy recipe of biscuits this morning. From my kitchen to yours, go make some biscuits. I'll see you next time on Cooking with Carol Diane. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.